Today we're going to look at Lorcana the First chapter's market pricing. To no surprise, the game came out, it sold out, and there's no stock until September 1st. What did surprise me is what the card market did after that. There were definitely some surprises in what happened with card pricing, so I want to take a look at that today. First up, we have a common, and the only reason I'm showing this is so that we have a baseline for what some things are worth. And see, this common here went from $1 to a penny. I hope you didn't spend too much buying Tangle because everyone seems to have it. And now even the market price of the cold foils dropped from $2 to $1. So this is a card no one seems to want, and that's our baseline for a common here. Next up we have Plasma Blaster, which is a rare. You can see that the rare card regular went from $18 down to like 64 cents, and the cold foil plummeted as well. I find it hilarious. This is the weirdest example I think I have for you, but this rare is worth almost nothing, and I don't know what happened here to the cold foil that the cold foil is only worth $1.52. Next up we have Taka, the burning one, which is a super rare, and this one's interesting because this is by far the cheapest super rare. If you look, you can see that the price is now 48 cents. The cold foil went from 287 with the regular being less than a buck, and now it's 71 cents for the cold foil, which I believe is still way too low, honestly. I don't think any cold foil should be going for less than $1 right now. Here we have a card that I've pulled 3 of that's worth $40 at current prices. This one tanked. It's a super rare. Originally it was worth $124. The cold foil was $150, but both have been tanking, honestly. The cold foil is now half the price at 75 or around there, and the actual market price of this card is now $42. Again, I think as soon as the market opens up in September, these prices are going to drop again. This must be highly playable or sought after by people who just love Frozen. I would not buy them at $40. I think this will be down to $20 or $10 here in 2 to 3 weeks. Next up, we have a card that's really weird, and that's Lilo. It's a 1-cost rare. It's a 1/1, and it boomeranged here. So it started off around 18, and now it's back up to $16. I don't know if it's because it's super meta. I don't know if it's because people saw that a 1 cost with 2 lore, and they went crazy for it. I don't really know what the deal is here, but the cold foil is absolutely amazing, because the cold foil went from $17 up to $27, which I don't know if that's because people are trying to put the cold foil in their decks or what the deal is, but this card has gone absolutely insane. It's not that rare being just a regular rare. I don't imagine Lilo is doing that off character alone, but maybe she is. Next up we have the Aurora, which this card dropped off of a cliff too. You can see here it started off at 18, the cold foil started off at 15. They dropped down to $3 to $4, and now they're back up to $4 to $5. So this card's seen a little bit of resurgence. I can explain this one at least a little bit because she's in the starter deck. I think it's interesting, but any of those starter deck cards, I imagine, should be around the $4 to $5 range. Here we have the Mickey Wayward Sorcerer, another one from the starter decks. But we can see it started out off at $20, which was a dumb price to begin with, don't get me wrong. But then people realized it was in the starter deck, and it crashed down to about $235 here. The only reason I think this vertical cliff happened was because everyone tried pulling them out of starter decks, putting them online, and then it was just a race to the bottom. I mean, if this is a $2 card, I think about every other super rare should be about a $2 card, honestly. Then now we have Tinkerbell. We went for Mickey at $2 to a $22 Tinkerbell. Again, this is the same quality as a super rare. I guess it's a highly playable card being with shift, but you can see it started off here low at $16. It bumped up all the way to almost $25, and now it's sitting at $22. This one's crazy to me because it's a rare, but it's going for $10. Again, we've got a Maleficent. She's a 1/1, so this is a lot like our Lilo at the start. You can see she started off at $18. That was probably based on the art and the character, people liking the character. It went down to $8, and it bounced back up here to about $10.49. Then we go over to Mickey Mouse Detective here. And I love this card, honestly. I think it's great. It's playable. It's not a 1-cent common. It's a 14-cent common. But even there, you can see that drop from the cold foil being $4.50 down to a cold foil of $3. I can't imagine any commons are going to be worth more than 10 cents here soon. So again, I wouldn't be buying any of these cards for decks. When supply comes out, September 1st, September 16th, any of those dates where they're actually getting cards delivered, I think you're just going to see these prices plummet, honestly. They're nowhere near settled. Next, we have Grab Your Sword, and this one is another really strange graph. It looks like a Y here. It started off at $12. It's back down to $4.50, but the cold foil for some reason took off from $10 up to $12. Then we have Be Prepared, which, don't get me wrong, I can understand why Banish All Characters is desired. It's a Wrath of God for Magic. But then you can see the price here. It started off at $15. This is just a rare going for $16. I don't understand this price at all. I don't understand why the cold foil is going for $23 to $26. None of this price makes any sense to me. Jumping over to Ariel, another super rare going for $3.75. This one jumped off a cliff, started off at $35, went down. I would think the Little Mermaid would go for a little bit more money. It's a super rare. I don't know why super rares are going so cheap, honestly. Are they too common? Are they actually more common than the 2 guaranteed rares that you're supposed to get? I don't really understand what's going on with these super rares. Maybe they just suck to play. I don't really get it. Then we have Hades, another rare. And this one's going for $2.80, which I think's more appropriate for a rare, honestly. The cold foil started here at $11, jumped down to $6.72. Next up, we have Let It Go. The only reason I have it here was because I was interested to see how this card would be holding price. I figured this would be one of the sought-after ones that collectors are just looking for. Even if they don't want any other cards, they'd want a copy of Let It Go. You can see that the market price for a foil is $12.51. This one's just been dropping down. Apparently, people don't like the art. I don't know. Rares seem to bounce around in price quite a bit. But I thought it was interesting that Let It Go was going for $5. This one absolutely surprised me. This is our first legendary. No, we didn't Elsa earlier. But this one's going for $46. The cold foil originally started at $97, and then it dropped down to $70. I really don't know what's going on here. I don't understand why it started off at this price. It bounced up, it bounced down, and then it bounced back up. This one almost seems like there's some market manipulation going on, holding this one at $46. There are 12 legendaries. $46 for this one really surprised me. I think it'll drop in half within the next couple months for price, though. Here again, we have another legendary, and this one's going for $45 as well. But you can see that the foil price just jumped up drastically. So it started off at $60, and then it went to $76. A cold foil legendary makes sense for being a higher price. Don't get me wrong. I think that probably does have value. But the regular also being about $51 makes no sense to me. But I imagine this one will drop back down to $30 here in 2 or 3 weeks. Next up, we have Belle for $40. It seems to be a common thing that the legendaries are sitting around $40. I don't really understand what's going on. The cold foil dropped from 100 down to 71. I'm sure it'll drop down quite a bit more here. This was around $30. It jumped up to $40. I think it's just people are trying to keep all the legendaries around $40, but I don't think that's healthy for the game, and I don't think it's going to stick either. Then we have a surprise. We have a legendary Brave Little Tailor Mickey for $25. I don't understand what happened here at all. It started off at $40, it shot up to $62, and then it just tanked to $25. We have the cold foil starting at $84 and then dropping to $50. We're back to the Elsa with the 40 cost price, again with the swing. I just wanted to go back and look at it after we looked at all the other legendaries. Honestly, I don't understand what's going on here. I mean, it started off at $124, went down to $40. Every other one kind of went up. This one tanked down. I don't get what's going on here. We got the Hades here at $28. Must be the least playable legendary. We get into the enchanted cards. In this one, I don't think it surprises anyone, is probably the most expensive at $475, and you can see that the price here started at $360 and it went basically straight up. There doesn't look like there is very much supply at all, being only 4 of them. That being said, I think this one's gonna tank in price as well. I think when they can actually get more supply out, I wouldn't go out and buy these for $500. I wouldn't go out and buy them for $300. I think as you see more of the set being opened, these will drop drastically. It's just an alternate art. There's no playable value in this card. Again, we can see that this one went straight up in price. It started off at $207 and then it went up to $330. We've got 8 listings. $330, I guess, is relatively good compared to $650, but again, I wouldn't be racing out to buy these. I would hold off. Maui, I think, is the ugliest one, in my personal opinion. Again, this skyrocketed, but only by $20. Even here, though, it hasn't been actually purchased at above $125. They're sitting at 11 with 169, but no one's really willing to buy it, and I don't blame them, honestly. This one, however, is a lot more beautiful card, and the price has been tanking. So here we go from 489 down to 117. I don't know what happened here. There's still 8 listings. Maybe everyone was just trying to get them out when they're $500, and then, supply and demand took over and just tanked the card. At $143, this one is probably the only one I would probably suggest people buy, because I do think this one will probably raise in price. And I think this one will probably end up being more expensive than the Elsa over time. But at the same time, I probably wouldn't even buy this yet. I think it'll still go down to $100. The Strange But Special Bell, I don't understand this price at all. It has been kind of tanking. Started off at 257, it was down to 208, and now people are listed at 308. Tinkerbell, the Giant Fairy. I think this is a great looking card, but you can see even here the price is tanking. You've only had a $30 price drop on this, but I would expect this to continue just dropping down. Moving on to Hades, we see a price drop that's really similar. It started at 160, it's down to 120. The market price is actually at 114. People have it listed at 140. Don't buy it. Just wait. We got Simba here, who surprisingly tanked. I thought this card would sell for a lot more than it has. I think this is just proof that all of these are probably going to settle around $100, if not less, maybe $75. So when supply comes out, when people can actually open boxes, just expect this price just shoot down. There's no reason that anyone should race out and buy any of these. Then we have Genie for 150. Again, that's just tanking straight down. It's not worth 150. It's been selling at 129, 124, and 114. All of these cards are going to keep going up in price over the next couple weeks because there's no more supply. We have Stitch here, started at 300, dropped down to 208. People have been buying it up at 187, 185, 190. Aladdin went down to 130, but as you can see, it started at 135. So I don't know if they're sitting on a lot because there's 19 listings. Nobody wants to buy this card for some reason. But you can see here they're selling for 130, 134, 130. I don't know why this one's going up in price. There's 19 listings. This one just seems really weird to me. I don't know. I would stay away from it. And this is my last card here, but $146. You can see here it tanked. It started off at 62, went down to 146. There's only 13 listings. I think it looks pretty cool, honestly. I think commons are going to eventually be 10 cents to 20 cents. I think uncommons are going to be less than $1, probably around 50 cents. I think rares are going to drop down to $1 to $2. Super rares are going to be around $2. I think legendaries are going to eventually drop to $10 or less dollars, probably around $8. And I think these enchanted cards are going to drop down to probably $75.